Hello, my Capricorn loves. How are you doing? This video is for the Capricorn suns and rising ascendant signs. So in this video, I am going to do a horoscope prediction for you, Capricorn, based on the house that this full moon in Scorpio is falling in, and then a tarot reading that is a little bit more of an intuitive, just predictive guide into what's going to be going on for you in the next couple of weeks. So let's get into it. Yes. Capricorn, for you, this full moon in Scorpio is falling in your 11th house. Yes, and the 11th house is ruled by Aquarius. So houses show us the areas of life that this energy is manifesting in. So I want you to think back to November of 2020. That was when the full moon in Scorpio happened, and that energy or the things that were happening in your life during that time period, this full moon in Scorpio is when they're coming to completion. That's sort of how you can think about it. So whatever areas of life, what was happening in your career, at home, with your children, all of these different things are coming to a culmination during this time period. And the 11th house, as I said before, is ruled by Aquarius, and it is about humanitarianism, groups, communal projects, it's social awareness and technology as well. So these are the areas of life that this full moon in Scorpio energy is coming into. And a tarot correspondence to Aquarius is Major Arcana of the Tarot 17, which is the star, and that is Uranus in Aquarius. And so the star energy is one of hope, of being reborn, of revitalization. This is after going through the challenge and gaining the wisdom from the tower, which is just a complete destruction of your belief systems, of things. Bless you, Rocky. This is the hope that comes afterwards, after you ascend. And so what recently has been going on for you is going through the 12th house, which is your emotions, your connectedness, your intuitive self. You have been in a place of, understanding your deeper spiritual path, and now you're moving into a place of social awareness. And so you are starting to realize the role that you play in other people's lives. I mean, of course, you know the role you play in other people's lives, but this right now is coming into focus for you. And this is as you as a coworker, as a spouse, as a partner, as a friend. These sort of roles are being illuminated during the full moon in Scorpio. Bless you, Rocky. Aw, my little boy is sneezing. And so the 11th house in astrology is known as the house of hopes and wishes. So these are the ideas and the beliefs that you want to see out in the world around you. And so when the moon occupies the 11th house, it engenders an individual who seeks after emotional security through relationships and through networks. So you may be seeing or having just a bigger interest in connecting with people around you and being part of a larger cause, maybe joining a movement or joining an organization or a group that has a philosophical idea at its head. And then your friends and associations are very important. However, the majority of the relationships that you are engaging in during this time period are largely superficial. You may be seeing a friend of a friend in a certain place and collaborating with them. Or you may be reaching out to people on social media and connecting with them. So it's more of a superficial level, but it is a connection with a wider variety and a larger amount of people. And so you are looking for validation from friends in group activities right now. And that may have to do with aligning on what your values are and what the values are of the different organizations that you're a part of. And you may suddenly find yourself around many people, perhaps after a period of relative private or solitude time. And that can have a sort of whiplash effect, going from doing more introspective, introverted work to then being around a lot of people. And hopefully not around too many people during COVID, but maybe being in dialogue with a lot of different people. And so Capricorn horoscope during a Scorpio moon. You as a Capricorn are a cardinal earth sign, and the Scorpio is a fixed water sign. So what do earth and water make? A sort of mud, but that can be the mud that holds all the nutrients for things to grow. So during the full moon in Scorpio, we see a lot of extremes. It's full illumination and bringing things to the light, but it's also bringing secrets to the light. So there may be revelations happening on a societal level for you right now. So you may be putting yourself out there in a social domain and expressing a vulnerability or something that is a secret part of yourself. Or there may be secrets. For some of you guys, we may all be seeing collective secrets of state affairs being revealed that have to do with our social awareness or consciousness, or big things in trials, in cases of justice. We may be seeing big revelations and changes happening. And so during this time, you are going through a Scorpio moon. It's in this sign, and the sign is the sign that the full moon is going through is how the energy is manifesting itself. So it's all of that Scorpio energy of transformation, of power, of control, of bringing secrets to the light and illuminating them. And so during this time, you may have an extraordinary insight into other people's motives, their emotions, and what their secrets are. It may also be a time where you can just read people very well. And so this may be a distinguishing time for you to understand who you want in your social circle and whose energy you want in your life and whose you don't. Because you may be getting some downloads about somebody's character that is misaligned with your values. And so be wary and look out for those sort of things, because that's that's the energy you're going to be tuned into. And during this time, you being able to read people so well may make or break friendships depending on how honest other people and how sincere other people are being in relationship with you. And then socially, these vibes are important and they allow you to find your place within a group and then protect yourself from those who are not on your side. So big group energy, Capricorn. So that is the astrological goings on for you during this next couple of weeks, Capricorn. Up next, we're gonna do a tarot reading for you. And as I spoke a little bit about before, this is going to be an adapted Celtic Cross tarot spread. And if you are interested, you can find that PDF for the spread linked in the description below. So let's get into it, Caps. I'm still learning to shuffle, but it's cool. I learned this method where, so I protect my cards. I just sort of drop them and then they fall out and I pick one. So this is your current situation. Your challenge. Your unconscious. Ooh. Your recent past. Your conscious. Ooh, pa-doop-a-doop. Your near future and your approach. Okay, so let's begin. Capricorn, the current situation for you right now is the Page of Wands. So this is you and a youthful part of yourself that is interested in taking on new creative projects. So it is a court card. This is seen as like an archetype or a person in your life or a part of yourself, but because it's in the position of your current situation, we can interpret this as a part of you that is curious and that is creative and that is interested in using your will to bring something to life. And this could be something that is an artistic project, or this could be something that you do in your work, or this could be bringing to life an energy in your family and in your relationships. So that is the energy that we're starting with. And then the challenge, it's either a help or a hindrance. for you is the Tower. So we can see this as either a help or a hindrance. It's interesting that you are going through the ninth house, or not the ninth house, you are going through the 11th house, which is ruled by Aquarius, which is connected to the star, which is the hope after the dismal, bleak situation of the Tower. So you may be currently going through a doubling down of wisdom upon you from the universe, from your spirit guides, from external forces. There's wisdom happening in the form of destroying old belief systems, of things rapidly, radically changing. And especially during this full moon in Scorpio, we see transformation happening on a global scale, happening from bringing secrets, deep parts of the psyche to the light. So you're going through the big wisdom learning of the Tower, which is just a breakdown of old systems that no longer work. And the unconscious motives and the subconscious parts of yourself that have been influencing your behavior is the Six of Wands. So maybe recently you're now in the current position of wanting to be, learning new things, trying out new creative projects. Unconsciously, there is this sense of satisfaction in the work that you've done before. And this may be, once again, in your relationships with other people. For some of you, you may have been having challenging conversations with your partner, and now you have created something new and better and stronger. Or this may mean that you've recently been having differences in ideas with coworkers or with people that you are interacting with on a professional level, but you've come out victorious in those situations. So there may be a feeling of, you can do this, an unconscious motive of, this is something I've done before, and this is something that I feel strongly that I can do again. And then your recent past, my Capricorns, is the King of Wands. So a lot of fiery energy here, a lot of big creative changing willpower energy. So the King of Wands, this is either a person in your life, an archetype, or a part of yourself. But in the recent past, this has been an initiating energy, a courageous, daring, fiery, passionate energy. And this could be somebody in your life, maybe like a masculine energy in your life, not necessarily a man, because these energies of divine feminine and divine masculine are within all of us. So this can be just a person who is creative, who is a force to be reckoned with, and they have had an effect on you in the recent past. Or this could be that part of yourself that has been really putting in a lot of energy into things in your life and seeing the result of the work, of the transformations that you've been doing. And then your conscious mind, your hopes, your ideals, your dreams, what you have been actively working towards is the High Priestess. Very cool. High Priestess. This is the number 2 in the major arcana. This is a card of intuition, of inner wisdom, of silence, of listening to your inner self. So maybe you've been meditating, or you can be meditating at this moment, because you're going to be getting a lot of downloads as to what your direction is, what is the best thing to do. There is a connection here to the Justice card. So you maybe have been deliberating things having to do with justice matters, of making choices that are challenging, and you may be connecting to your inner self, your inner wisdom, to make those choices. I love that for you, Capricorn. Wow. And so your near future is the Knight of Cups. We have another court card here. So the Knight of Cups, this is a fire and a water energy. Knights are on a quest. This can be like a youthful person who's kind of a little bit older. They've gone through school, or they've gone through study. They've learned some experiences, but now they are on a quest to prove themselves. And especially a knight in the realm of love, of emotions, of how they interrelate with other people. This may mean a playboy is coming your way, or a playgirl, or a play them. Somebody with big romantic energy is in your near future, or you yourself are embodying this romantic, beautiful energy. And so upcoming is going to be your approach to the current situation. and then your environment and how it's influencing you. And then we have something that has been affecting you that you are not yet aware of, and your distant future. And it seems like this one wants to come out too, so we'll just put this over here. So your current approach to the situation is the Hierophant. This is our second major arcana, and we see when we get 3 or more major arcana, then there's a lot of big energies pulling you in different directions. But at 2, we'll see what it means. Hierophant is the 5th card of the major arcana and represents morality, rules, spirituality, your conscientiousness. And so you may be in a situation right now where you are trying to reconcile the wild and the divine, how you believe the world should be operating and how it's actually operating. And so there may be a conflict of morality happening for you right now, or there may be for some of you, a sticking to traditions and to morals that have been passed on to you. Or you may be identifying where your past teachings, what you have been taught about law and order and morality, where it fits with you and where it doesn't fit with you, and you're ready to let it go. And you may be rebelling against systems that are no longer working. And then your current, the environment's current effect on you is the 5 of Wands. So the 5 of Wands in this position, this is people and places and your family, all of these different things that are affecting how you are making choices. And it's in the 5 of Wands, it's in 5 of Wands. And this 5 is about imbalance and a struggle, and the Wands is a fiery creative and willful energy. So you may be receiving opposition based on willpower from other people that you are around or that you are collaborating with. So this could mean your work environment and people that you're working with having a different vision from you, and you're all trying to express your vision but not listening to one another, so nothing gets done. Or this can mean too many, there's a great saying, you're the too many cooks in the kitchen. There maybe needs to be a leader, and it may be time for you to step up as that leader and to assert your vision or to express your vision clearly to other people. And then something that has been affecting you that you are not yet aware of is the 2 of Swords. So you may be getting a decision. There may be a choice before you. For some of you, it may be in your romantic life, or it may be in your career, or it may be having to do with your psychic or your creative vision, but you're having to make a choice about something. And so I can see in a correlation between your active hopes, dreams, and ideals of the High Priestess with the 2 of Swords is that you need to sit, be silent, trust your intuition, and that you may be getting a lot of influences from other people in your environment with different visions and different ideals, but what you need to do is trust your own inner sense of understanding and wisdom. And then the distant future for you is the Queen of Chalices, otherwise known as the Queen of Cups. And so the Queen of Chalices is a receptive energy of understanding emotional intelligence and having a depth and a fulfilling inner world. And this is one having to do with psychic understanding, mediumistic skills, emotional intelligence. So maybe for some of you, by going through this process of fire and water transformation, you in the future will be sitting in a place of understanding how to weave both your feelings and your moods and your emotions into the creative things you bring into the world, into the stuff that you create, how you transform things, how you initiate your will. And then, because we had another little card that wanted to pop out, we have the Eight of Coins, otherwise known as the Eight of Pentacles. And this card says get to work. So if you're gonna get all of this done and you're gonna manifest your vision, you're gonna have to be at home in the tedium of the everyday. What does identifying and understanding your vision and your values look like in the day-to-day? And so this can mean sticking with what you believe in, being committed to the work that you're doing. Yes, Capricorn. So a couple of themes I can see here is allowing big changing transformations to happen. But you are in a position of a youthful curiosity that maybe these changes can herald in good things for you, or that changes are necessary either on a communal scale or in your personal life. And maybe through that, you're able to take your personal self and be a kind of King of Wands character or a leader in how you role model to people in your community what living in your values looks like. And then also there is a bucking up against what tradition and morality and collective conscientiousness says about whatever situation is ahead of you, either it be in activism or in your work or in your personal relationships. But there are some predetermined rules and regulations about how you should conduct yourself, but maybe by trusting your inner wisdom, you can find some different solutions to problems that haven't been fixed in our world yet. So that is, and also you got to do the damn work. You got to do the damn work. You can have the vision, but you have to follow it up with the work. So that's your reading, Capricorn. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like, watch one of the other videos for your sun and for your rising ascendant so that you can get all the good juicy information. But yes, just thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.